I know what you're thinking. Did I kill myself with cardio? Did I eat nothing for 10 weeks? Tell you neither of those are true. Let's get into the tips. Look, I'm really hoping that in some way these experiences and these tips that I've put together for you, based on my own experiences, are of value to you. That's what it's all about for me. So let's get straight into tip number 1. Losing weight is a lonely place. You might be surrounded by people who are not in the same spot as you. They might be out drinking all the time, eating what you would consider junk all the time, and not necessarily going to encourage you on that journey. Whereas if you maybe join a Facebook group or a Twitter group, I found value in that because I could share my experiences with like-minded people, and they could then in turn maybe offer advice. I could offer them advice, and that communal feel is so motivating that I would advise anybody to do that. Number 2, this may not be your first rodeo. If it's like anything like me, I can't count how many times, but this time it's been consistent. It may not be the first time. So put that aside. Forget about it. Just get it to the back. It's not even happened. Focus on the next 3 months and beyond. Let's think of this as a lifestyle now. This isn't something we're doing for 3 months and dropping back. No, it's a lifestyle, and it certainly is one that we can stick to. Tip number 3, consider intermittent fasting. I'm sure you're all aware of what it is, or it might be called, for some people, time-restricted eating. But basically, we restrict our eating window. So if we were on what's common, which I use myself, a 16-8 protocol, at 8 p.m. at night, I stop eating. 16 hours later, lunchtime the next day at 12, I have my first meal. It's twofold, really. You get some benefits from the fasting itself, but it also helps you skip that first meal. So your breakfast you might not have. You don't have to do it every day, but your breakfast you might not then have because you've fasted until 12. So in that eating window, you might have saved a meal, saved the calories, and consequently, that's helped you to get toward your weight loss goal. Now, getting on to that, we need to be you'll have heard this as well, you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. So basically, we need to expend more energy than we take in. Okay, so think of it now as if I take in 2,000 calories and I burn in the day 2,500, then I'm in a 500 deficit. So I'm well on my way to a weight loss week to week. So that's just a day. So how do we do this? First of all, we need to, and I'll put a link in the description, we need to go on a macro calculator online. It's straightforward, fill the details out. It'll ask you, some of them, this particular one might ask you about a percentage of weight loss a week. I would look at no more than 1%. That would be an absolute maximum. You'll get a value. At the end of it, you get a value for calories that you take in during that day to get the weight loss that you desire. And then we've got to think about, right, how do I then track what I take in? Well, that's where an app comes in, very easy to use. One of them's Chronometer, another one I've used with success is MyFitnessPal. Again, I'll put a link in the description there. And basically all you do is scan in the barcode of your meals. That then goes into the calculator itself, and it builds up and adds up during the day until in the end of the day, you get an amount and you just match that up to what you need it to be. Okay, so it's 1,600 calories for you to be in a deficit, that you lose a pound a week. Then you take 1,600 calories in each day, and that calculator will tell you exactly how you did it. And it'll give you a really good breakdown of your protein, carbohydrates, and also your fats. So, tip number 5, don't just use a scale as a guide. So a lot of people, they start off losing weight, and it's fantastic. At the beginning, they get right into it, the scale says 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, and all of a sudden it plateaus, and they start to panic. What I found is, in those weeks that I don't lose weight, if I try on what I like to call a datum pair of clothes, and that's a pair of clothes that I tried on at the beginning of my weight loss journey, trousers and a top, I found that if I try them on, they feel different. And they could be that they just feel a bit slacker, a bit different in certain areas. Scale weight's not going to tell you that. So That's the advice. Just keep a decent pair of clothes aside. Try it on at the beginning of your journey. Tip number 6, eat leaner cuts of meat. If you're eating 20% fat meals, well, you could be eating 5% mince. Well, the less fat calories in there, the better, because fat calories are 9 calories per gram versus protein and carbohydrate calories, which is 4 calories per gram. So if you can cut the fat out, it's much easier to reduce those calories, much easier to get into a calorie deficit. So just think a little bit about that. Think of it as in eat chicken breast rather than chicken thigh, for example, because chicken thigh is fattier. Eat 0% Greek yogurt rather than 5% Greek yogurt. So just something to consider. Tip number 7, take photos weekly. That includes at the beginning. You might not want to take photos at the beginning. Take photos at the beginning. You'll love to see the journey that you're taking. You'll look back and think, wow, look at the difference. Look at the change. Take photos weekly. And this goes back a little bit to the point of when I was talking about the scale weight. Your photos, you might say, I haven't lost any weight, but look at the definition I can now see in X, Y, or Z, you know? And that just, again, it just keeps that fire burning, that motivation going. Tip number 8, this is a big one. Don't be derailed by an off day. Don't be derailed by an off weekend. Just don't do it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's in and it's gone. Monday morning, crack on. We can't make a habit of it, obviously, because we won't reach our goal. But we can't dwell on it. It's like all the other times that you may have, I certainly have, as I said earlier, tried to lose weight and it didn't happen. Just crack on. Don't starve yourself for 3 days. I've seen it. Don't starve yourself for 3 days. Just crack back on. It's no problem. Now back on to monitoring weight loss. My advice, just do it once a week or it just gets obsessive. You know, I mean, I have been obsessed in the past until I told myself, no, do it weekly. Just do it once a week. That's all you need to do. Now, if you find you're losing too much, say more than that 1%, you can add calories, maybe 50 or 100 calories to your day. If you find, oh, there's a pattern starting now, and there's no rush. Maybe in 3 weeks, you put a little bit of extra weight on, you think, well, I'll just drag the calories back, maybe about 50 or 100 calories. So just think about that, the monitoring it weekly and potentially adjusting your calories. And you can do this because you're tracking your calories. Now, tip number 10, another big one, keep protein high. Now, you'll see all sorts of things, 0.6 kilograms per kilogram, a pound per pound of lean mass. Look, let's keep it simple here. Most people don't take in anywhere near 100 grams. Now, for me, on average, 90 to 100 grams, and your macro calculator will tell you it. That's roughly what, just take that in. Take protein in at 90 to 100 grams. That will probably put you somewhere in the parish for maintaining muscle whilst you lose weight. That's what we're trying to aim for here. Protein will help that because it's the building blocks of muscle. So we want to lose fat. We don't want to lose muscle. That gets me on to tip number 11, which is to say to resistance train. And this goes hand in hand with our last tip. We resistance train because we want to tell our body, look, body, drop fat. I'm going to give you protein and I'm going to give you something to do with the protein, i.e. preserve and build muscle whilst you do that. When I talk about resistance training, I'm not talking about going to the gym 5 times a week and killing yourself. It's absolutely unnecessary. I'm talking about twice a week. I'll link at the end of the video one of these corners to a 4-video progression playlist that I'll put together. And I've also got a few 5-minute workouts. Maybe do those twice a week. And you'll probably then find that the machine each cog starts to come together to form this machine. And it's going to be hard to stop. You're going to get momentum. You're going to push forward. The weight's going to be coming off. You're going to be building a little bit of muscle. It's all going to be coming together. And you're learning a little bit more about your body at the same time. Tip number 12, cardio versus nutrition. Another big tip here. This is a big discussion point. I keep saying this about the tips and discussions, but this is my take on cardio versus nutrition. I see it all the time. Burn fat fast, burn belly fat. Look, you don't need to sweat and do a ton of cardio to lose weight. In fact, you need to do any cardio to lose weight. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, if you enjoy cardio, perfect. But there's absolutely no need, it's not necessary to kill yourself with a cardio when you don't like it and you think you need to do it to sweat, to lose weight. You just need to track your nutrition, your calories. That's all you need to do. If you enjoy it, that's cool. I did it. But I didn't do it to lose weight. I did it because I mentally enjoyed it. And it does help you get into a calorie deficit. But I enjoy it. I enjoy going on the spin bike. So I'm going to go on the spin bike. If I didn't, I wouldn't. I'd still lose weight because it's all calorie based. So just something to think about. Now, I want to get on to the bonus tip. And if you're still here, thank you very much. But I'd love it if you considered liking the video, considered subscribing, commenting. Let's get this community going. Right, bonus tip. And this could be controversial. Now, ask yourself this question. Are you in the right frame of mind to start your journey now? Now, don't take this negatively. My point is, I've tried, when I think about the previous times that I've tried and failed, I probably shouldn't have started. Some of the times when we had young children, we still have, but when they were really young and I was sleep deprived, I was trying to start a journey of losing weight. It was destined to fail. Are you particularly stressed at work, for example? Are you not sleeping? Maybe addressing those points initially is better for you and then you start your journey. So if you get those resolved, then maybe you've got a better chance of success on your fitness journey. Only you know that, but don't be frightened to not start it. However, if you don't start it, I will qualify this. If you don't start it now, make sure you make the necessary changes so you'll be starting it in the near future. Okay, that's important. So just think about, don't overthink it. I'm guilty of that, but don't overthink it. Just make sure you're in the right mindset. Right, appreciate you watching this. So I'll link this beginner workout. You're more than welcome to try it.